Hello, I'm Matthew Papandreou.
Hi, I'm Kai.
And we're both from the Icon Pack Young Butchers and Australian team. Today we got this rump that we're going to seam out and demonstrate how we do so with these fantastic knives supplied to us from Victorinox. So firstly, we're just going to go through this seam to remove the rump cap from the whole rump. This is great for any roast. We can use that as a steak. A lot of the people like to smoke it as well. So that's the whole rump cap. We're going to leave a hole, we're not going to touch that at the moment. And we're going to work on the rest of the rump. So I'm just going to remove this sinew here so I can find the seam, because there is a little muscle on the top first before we get into the two major muscles of the rump. Here it is. And we're just going to find that seam and she will come out nicely. There we go.
That's ease of that blade.
Yeah, very easy. Now, this is the difficult part of the rump, where we separate the eye to the center. Now, with the knife, now this is where the knife comes in handy, because as it's nice and sharp, we can just separate the two muscles with ease and keeping all the muscle on this end and separating the muscles together. If your knife is blunt, you will pierce the silver skin. So lucky we are using these knives and we can easily separate the eye to the center of the rump. So now we have our four cuts of the rump. This is the rump cap, this is the center cut of the rump, this is the rump eye, and this is the undercut muscle. Now I'm going to pass you over to Kai, who will show you some techniques on how you can utilize all these four beautiful cuts of the rump at home.
We're going to start by trimming up the eye cut of the rump. We're going to take all of the connective tissues off because they're not very good to eat. I'm going to use the Victorinox straight edge boning knife. And you don't want to take too much of the meat off. You just want to come right underneath the fat, so you're leaving all the meat for your steaks. This part here is your main center cut sinew. It's very tough when eating, so you definitely want to get rid of that one. Just brushing past it, it'll separate with ease. We're going to switch to the 8-inch breaking knife to get some nice steaks. And you just even pressure straight through. We're going to use that one later, but otherwise. You're going to get some nice steaks out of that. Right, so when you cut him, you want to have a nice even pressure through. You don't want to saw the meat, otherwise you end up with steps. It makes it all uneven when you're cooking your steaks, and you want a nice sort of a solid thumb width. It gets you around that sort of 200 gram portion. It's your nice steak off the end of it. So as you work your way through, you can see we've got some nice steaks there. Or you want them even thickness, so when you're cutting them, you're cooking them, sorry, they cook all at the same time.
The knife easily slices through.
Oh, I forgot about that one, yeah. Alright, so moving on to the undercut, we're going to start off by taking the silver skin off there. And what you want to do is you want to pierce slightly just under with the tip of your knife. Apply light pressure upwards and a little bit like so. You want to make sure you leave as much meat on there as possible. So as you can see, there's very, very little meat left on there. Leaving it for all your stir fry strips. This is good for stroganoffs, stir fries, you name it. And we'll take a little bit of the bone chipping sort of stuff off. Right, so these ones are the face cuts off the steaks, which they're great for using for stir fries as well. So same as before with the undercut, just very thin strips.
These parts are fantastic for stir fry. Black bean sauce, mixed vegetables, on top of a nice rice. Cut that pretty easily there, Kyla.
Very, very sharp knife from Victorinox here. So you got your stroganoff strips, which are a touch thicker, and your stir fry strips, which are nice and thin. You've also got your little steaks there, and they're perfect.
Alrighty, so we've got this center cut of rump. I'm going to prepare it quickly, so then we can make a little roast out of it. So what I like to do, we've got to take this silver skin off the middle of the rump. Now this silver skin separates the two main muscles of the rump. It's very tough. You can see we're doing this very easily, quickly. I like to trim off a little bit of this silver skin on the outside. Just want to take this big clump of fat out of it. Okay, nice and easy there. There's a bit of, that's the base of the bone. So that there, we wouldn't use it at home. Chop it up small, you can give it to the dog. They don't complain. Now, what I like to do with this roast is just, I'm going to take the fat off in one piece. Now we do this in the butcher shop. When you're at home, you can leave all the fat on, it'll taste nicer. But this would just help me make it look a little bit prettier when we put it in our counter. I'm just going to take that fat off. Now when we roll a roast, the most important thing is to shape it first. I'm going to use this fat cap, I'm going to put it on in the middle. I'm going to get our butcher's twine. Now I'm going to use a technique that will hold the fat on the top and roll the center quite nicely. Just need a bit more string there. Just wrap it around, just cross them over like so. And if you do 3 loops around one side of the string, and this part of the roast, you want to go nice tight as you can, and those 3 loops around the original string will help it tighten. Nice little half hitch on the end. We'll cut off that excess string. And our simple technique where we grab your hand, roll it around your fingers. An odd number of times is good because that makes a little ball or a knot that will help you easily tie the roast together. Now I'm just going to rush through a little bit here. just to get a nice roast. Now, in the shop, we got to keep these strings the same distance apart. When you're at home, if it's your first time, don't stress too much. You can make sure it's just nice and tight. If it stays nice and tight, the roast will cook nicer. And when you cut your steaks, they'll be nice and round. Alrighty. Now we've got the last string here. Now I like to finish it off. We'll just cut that string. We'll just attach it around one of these end strings. And that's it. You got your nice center cut truss roast with the fat on top. Now you want to keep this fat on. Firstly it crystallizes. I like to eat it, but it'll create moisture in that roast. So the roast will come nicer. This is a nice lean piece of meat. It's good to have a bit of fat just to make it more juicy. Alright, so we have broken down our whole rump. You can buy a whole rump from your local butcher, and it's a bit cheaper if you buy them whole. And you can create 4 different meals which you can use either during the week, or you can put them in your freezer and have it in those times when you need something quick and to thaw out. And anyway, so we have made a rump center cut roast. It's beautiful for 6 people, it's good for the family. Some beautiful nice medallion steaks, some stir fry, and rump cap bacon roast.
All this was done with all our Victorinox knives, which us butchers use all day, every day.